Picking up on our bullying and threats, discipline consequence, again, expect police involvement and up to 10 days of out-of-school suspension. Bullying and harassment at school is also a state crime. You may report incidents to staff and volunteers who are responsible for your safety. All reports are investigated. All reports are reported to the state. It's also a crime to make a false report. So as issues come up in school, think about, is this a true bullying behavior? If so, we want you to report it. If not, we may still want you to report it and work through a conflict with counselors or administration or teachers on your team. As a rule, we don't expect any bullying to happen in this building. There are multiple ways that bullying can be reported to the state and have state crime implications, involve Clive Police Department, as well as normal school discipline consequences. Do not put people down. Do not tease them. Do not threaten to beat them up. Do not physically touch another student. Calm down instead of put down to avoid any further conflict. Harassment includes conduct directed at an individual because of many reasons: age, race, their skin color, their sex, their national origin, religion, sexual orientation, gender identity, disability, or any other distinguishing factor. This includes jokes, pictures, comments that are annoying, abusive, or demeaning. Students who make unwelcome physical contact, use verbal put-downs, or create a hostile environment are subject to major disciplinary actions. Victims need to report these incidents immediately to any employee. Tell that person that you've had enough and you want behaviors to be stopped. Electronic equipment is our next topic. We can't be responsible for the expensive equipment you bring to Indian Hills. Many of the items that you bring in have major expenses that schools can't cover. Items like iPads, Kindles, iTouches, laser pens, MP3s, and electronic devices are prohibited. You can listen to music on the bus, but it must be put away before that 7:25 mark we talked about before. Please keep it in your locker during the day unless you have special permissions. Cell phones, again, can be used before 7:25 and at the end of the day, but should be powered down during the school day. These items will be picked up and delivered to the office if you are in violation of the electronics policy. A parent or guardian will need to come and pick them up. What's important for you to understand about lockers as a student is those are actually the property of the school. They can be searched with reasonable suspicion at any time. In addition, Indian Hills will have locker cleanouts occasionally. Teachers will look to make sure there's no food, drink, or anything else that could damage a locker. Drug dogs have and will be brought into the building without notice. You are expected to keep all your possessions in your locker and to use the locker that you've been assigned. Do not move things to a friend's locker. Keep your locker locked. Don't share your combo with anyone. Do not attach or write anything that will not come off of the lockers, and make sure all content is appropriate. Keep your locker clean and organized. You should not have to slam or kick your locker shut. That impacts other lockers around you. Clothing we've talked a little bit about in our first assembly, but it should not draw any attention to you. It must be clean. It must adequately cover you so it's not distracting to others. The following is inappropriate for our school: excessively tight, suggestive, incomplete, attention-getting clothing, exposed undergarments, blackless, strapless, spaghetti strap, one shoulder, off the shoulder, any tank tops or halter tops, any clothing that exposes midriff or cleavage. All should not be worn at school. Skirts, shorts, or skirts are too short. We do try to use the knuckle rule when applying to those items. Any clothing that calls undue attention may disrupt the educational climate here at school. Shoes are required at all times. Jackets and clothes are not to be worn in the building. No symbols of alcoholic, tobacco, controlled substances, profanity, obscene gestures, vulgarity, lewd sayings, or gang symbols should be on clothing. No sayings or drawings that would be offensive to any race, gender, religion, or ethnicity. No chains, no dog collars, no spiked jewelry, no overly long earrings or similar items will be permitted in the school. Hats and headgear are not to be worn in the building except for special health or religious reasons. Our next topic is makeup work. If you are gone, you have 2 days to make up any absent work for assignments assigned. Assignments are given prior to your absence are due the first day back. If you know you're going to be gone, our expectation for you is that you get it complete while you're gone and bring it back on time. Homework requirements should be worked out in advance if you know you're going to be gone on a trip or any planned absence. Please bring a note, fill out a purple extended leave form from the main office, and see teachers about their long-term deadlines. Absences may not extend the due date. You have to get projects here while you are gone. Again, the key we ask you, communicate, communicate, communicate. Technology expectations is an important topic to cover, especially this year, as more and more of you will have access to technology in this building. The use of our computers, our software, our network is a privilege that can be lost due to inappropriate use of the internet, a misuse of any email, use of any sexually explicit materials, misuse of hardware, getting into files other than your own, changing the settings of any lab computer or laptop, inappropriate use of a printer, inappropriate language, downloading inappropriate pictures or content, all can have technology consequences. Please respect our equipment. Violators will be banned from use of computers from 1 week up to a full year, in addition to possible suspension from the building. Transportation is our next topic and is another important one. Please know a bus driver is in charge at all times. Follow his or her directions the first time without any arguments. You must show your bus pass to ride with no exceptions. Violators will lose their privilege to ride the bus for 5 days to all year if behavior is inappropriate. School consequences, including suspensions, can also occur. Please know that those buses are simply an extension of Indian Hills. We do have a student telephone. The office phone is not intended to be used for students unless there's an emergency, but there's a free phone right outside the office. Classrooms are off limits to students unless a teacher says it's all right to use. There are many support services to make your year go better here at Indian Hills. Our goal is for you to have the best year you've ever had. One person that can help you do that is our fantastic librarian, Mrs. Fry. She's in the Media Center. We have 2 counselors that are here to help you, Mr. Rich and Miss Johnson. They're located in the guidance office area, just off the main office. Mrs. Johnson and Mrs. Carter are our 2 secretaries. You'll get to know them very well. They're another great resource for you. Mrs. Miller is our school nurse. She's located right next to the guidance office. Any health or injury concerns, you'll see her in the nurse's office. Mrs. Mugen is our head custodian. Any maintenance, any locker or custodial needs, please see her, get to know her. She'll be at lunch every day. Thank her for what she does. It's an important job. Substitute teachers, our expectation is that we treat them with the utmost respect at all times. They are the authority figure in the class. They are extended faculty, many of which serve Indian Hills throughout the year, and a lot of them only want to work here because they enjoy our building. We expect you to uphold that tradition here this year. They deserve excellent behavior, better behavior than normal. There will be major discipline problems if a sub notifies a regular teacher or the office staff that behavior is inappropriate and their day was impacted by behavior of students. Another thing we challenge you to do is get involved. You're encouraged to become as involved with all of our activities. Some that we're going to highlight are 8th grade sports. 8th graders, we have cross country, football, volleyball, wrestling, basketball, and track, all for you to take part in. This is the year to try. This is the year to compete Get yourself involved. We have an excellent fine arts department. Mr. Bernard and Ms. Killinger run a great band program. Mrs. Carpenter has a thriving chorus program. Mr. Bard does an excellent job with our orchestra. Get involved. If you're thinking about it, now is the time. Mrs. Novelli is in charge of student council. We also have an eye care program that pulls you out of study hall. We will let you know when we replace Mrs. Clayton, who was an excellent resource for us last year. Intramurals are run by Mr. Tudor and Mrs. Soliday. Please look for announcements during daily announcements on TVs and during PE to find out the activities for the day. Ms. Johnson also works with a group of students that become ambassadors that help Indian Hills on nights of parent meetings, help with new students, help with 6th grade transitions in the spring. If you're interested in that, see Ms. Johnson. Mrs. Coons runs our mimes and school play. Throughout the year, there's multiple ways to get involved with the drama department. If you think that you'd be better suited in the lighting crew, Mr. Pond has a great group of students every year that helps with productions. They do an outstanding job. They learn a lot, and Mr. Pond's the guy to talk to. The Indian Hills homepage is a source of all sorts of information. It's been updated this year. It has newsletters, it has forums, it has sports schedules, it has directions to the game. Also, Infinite Campus is something you should be checking in weekly. Your team also has Weebly pages that is a backup for your planner and a great communication tool for parents and students. Here's our challenge for you. Have the best year you've ever had. Get involved, do what's right, work to the best of your ability, respect everybody in this building, seek help, advocate for yourself, and do your best in everything you do. And just a reminder, we are a PBIS school. Our goal is every day to catch you showing your Tiger pride by being respectful, being responsible, and being ready. Have the best year you ever had, Indian Hills.